Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Hello and welcome back to What's on Tap podcast. We are once again back, me and Stefan. As always, your only true stable point in this weird universe.
Coming to you every week for the last 4.5 years.
We would never let you down.
We're there for you. Every Thursday you can count on a new episode of What's on Tap podcast.
Definitely. And today we have two fun beers.
We do, hopefully.
One that we can reveal later that I brought, and one that I'm really looking forward to that I found in Stefan's fridge. So the story about this beer, before we reveal it, is that I tried to order it, I think 3 times. And each time the order went through, oh, you're going to get this beer, Martin. And then a message comes and saying, oh, it has been deleted from your order due to it not existing.
That's happened a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Systembolaget in December of last year had a lot of like great beers. And then you'd be like, yeah, I want that and that and that. And then they were just...
All of them canceled. Yes.
All of them canceled. So like those Wylam beers that showed up.
Yeah.
I was like, damn it, I didn't order those. I thought they would be canceled because the other 2 Wylam times had been canceled. So I didn't even bother. And then you got them in and I'm like...
And then Verdant were also, a lot of them were canceled.
Oh, those are canceled.
Just
too.
a lot of cancellations.
Yeah.
So this is
from This Is How. Beer Moment number 13.3. The once a year beer called How to Reappear Bourbon Barrel Aged Barley Wine 2020. And this is really strange for a northern Swedish beer because your label's all in English.
Aha.
Because it says, once in a blue moon, this bourbon barrel aged barley wine, that's a tongue twister, huh? Has evolved into perfection. All good things take time, and you've been patient. Enjoy. Gustav Hallin, beer boss.
Cool.
And this is best before 2030.
10-year life expectancy.
And not a surprise.
But it's fun with bourbon barrel-aged Swedish beers.
Yes.
This is how I've had some really good ones and some stinkers.
Yeah. They're not one of my go-to breweries, but every once in a while they put out something pretty good. And this has been getting really good reviews online. So I was like, well, I will roll the dice and grab one of these. And if it's good, and if I miss the Systembolaget, I might see if they have more.
Yes. Because you picked this out at the shelf, right?
Yes, yeah.
That was my mistake. I kept trying to order it to get it to my local Systembolaget. That was obviously a mistake.
All right. It smells excellent. It smells
caramel, barley wine.
Yeah. A little boozy from the bourbon barrel aging.
I don't smell any bourbon barrel aging.
I do.
Yeah, maybe a little actually.
Oh my god, you got the COVID.
No.
All right.
Hey,
cheers.
Let's try it. Cheers.
That is very caramelly. Very sweet.
Kind of interesting aftertaste.
Yeah.
A little strange.
It is a little strange. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it.
Dry ashtray?
I don't know if I go ashtray. But what's weird is I don't feel the bourbon barrel aging on this at all. And I wish I could put into words what this aftertaste is like because it's kind of...
Did you say how strong it was?
No.
13.3% ABV.
Okay.
Maybe that's why they call it Beer Moment 13.3 because
That does make sense. It reinforces that idea.
But that makes no sense. If you're going to number your beer moments, you can't number them based on ABV.
I can number them based on however I want. It's the moment that I want to include.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe this is beer moment number 29, even though there's only been 3 before.
Maybe.
It's kind of like the SEAL Team 6.
Oh, there are. Oh, right.
Yeah.
There are no more SEAL teams, but the US wanted the Russians to believe that there were more SEAL teams.
Right. I think there was SEAL Team 1 and 2. And then they came out with 6 to make them think that there were 4 others out there that they couldn't, or 3 others out there they couldn't find.
Oh yeah. There's a weird, semi-obscure British politician called Buckethead. Not the musician Buckethead.
Yeah, I know.
The politician Buckethead, Lord Buckethead even. No one knows his real face because he always appears with a big bucket on his face.
Yeah.
A part of his political manifesto is, let's publicly announce the building of... let's announce the investment of £3 billion worth of nuclear submarines. And then not build them. They're submarines. How will our enemies know that we didn't build them? Which I've always liked.
Yeah.
The aftertaste is kind of a mess on this one.
I have to agree. It's not unpleasant, but it's not something that I'm really like, ooh, I need to have more of this at the same time.
It's definitely sweet. It definitely has caramel. It's the right amount of boozy. Now that I've gotten used to it, I don't taste any bourbon barrel.
Yeah, I think that's what the problem is. It's kind of like, if I had to, I mean, for me, I guess the bourbon barrel aging is kind of a Jack Daniel's style bourbon barrel aging, which is kind of a sweet yet harsh alcohol kind of flavor to it. Yeah. Jack Daniel's is not a regular black label or green label. Is not a sipping. It's a mixing bourbon. And I think that's kind of what this is tasting like. It's like this, I don't know, just flavor to it that it does not make you want more. And that's a shame because I feel like I really want to like this beer. I really want to want more of it, but I just don't. So I'm going to give this a 3.
Wow, that's way lower than I expected. It still has a lot of redeeming qualities. Sure. I might go as high as 375.
Wow.
It's somewhere between 3.5 and 375. I'll go to higher rating, 375.
All right.
Because of the caramel flavors.
Caramel flavors are good. But, I mean, I've had a lot of barley wines with caramel flavors.
And I've given them 4s.
Yes. And I just, for me, this one just doesn't, it's very forgettable. It doesn't have any real super high redeeming qualities that make me think I should have more of it or make me want to drink more of it. I've had a few sips. I'm good, man. I don't need to drink the rest of what's in my glass. And for me, that's a weakness and a failure of a beer.
It definitely is.
Whereas you apparently are just like, I'm about to pound this bitch.
I just think it has some redeeming qualities.
I didn't say it was horrible. I mean, it's just like a 3 out of 5 it's like a C. I mean, that's a okay rating.
Yeah, a lot of beers that I think are okay end up at the 3.5 range. I think that's just how I've started rating them. I give a lot of 3s and 275s and whatever, but they're usually worse beers. I'm starting to compare more to... It's like a big range.
Well, you know, the beer style I'm starting to judge much more harshly are double IPAs.
Yeah.
Because eventually you're kind of like, they're all basically the same beer, just different versions of the same beer.
Fair enough.
And so it's like, well, this one was good, but I've had this beer like 3 times already, but from different breweries. So it's not as good as it used to be, you know, kind of situation. And I find that, you know, double IPAs are just, let's just dump as much hops into something as we possibly can and call it a day. And they're not as interesting, I think, a style as it used to be. Or maybe I'm just getting bored with it.
Maybe.
As a style. And also, barley wine is not my favorite style to begin with, so maybe I'm a little harsher on the judging of it.
Maybe. I'm much more historically inclined towards barley wines.
You are much more historically inclined to barley wines. Although I had the Abstract 20 from Brewdog the other day.
Yeah?
And it's a 4-year-old barley wine. That was excellent.
Nice.
Okay.
But let's go to the next beer, the one I brought. It is a collaboration between Alpha Delta, they're from Newcastle, and North Brewing, and I can't remember where they're from, but they're also British.
I think they're Manchester.
Very possible.
Leeds, somewhere up there in that area.
So the beer is Tartarus Oaked Imperial Stout.
It smells amazing.
Smells a lot of chocolate,
licorice,
cacao beans.
Yeah.
So Tartarus is the prison where Zeus imprisoned the Titans after he defeated them.
There's so much roasted malts and licorice and chocolate on this.
The aroma is promising. It's something like 10% ABV, right?
10.5.
Yep.
And it's got lactose and vanilla extract. So it should be a bit of a vanilla sweetness to this.
Yes, it better be. Cheers.
Cheers.
Maybe too much lactose? Are you instantly disappointed?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the mouthful on this one really left me wanting. It feels like a milk stout.
It's really light in the mouthfeel.
I thought this oaked imperial stout would be a little more.
Could have been, with this mouthfeel, it might as well have been 6%.
Honestly, yeah, it should have been just a milk stout, and they called it a day because basically that's what they made by adding the lactose to this and vanilla extract. It should have just been called an imperial milk stout instead of an oaked imperial stout.
Yeah.
I think it would have changed my initial impression.
I think so too.
Because it has the mouthfeel and the lightness of a milk stout.
If we had this next to a thick imperial stout, it would completely disappear.
Yeah, but like I said, initial sip, I was expecting something much richer and much bolder.
Yeah.
But now that I'm kind of realigning my expectations, I'm finding I'm liking it a lot more. Because it's 10.5%. It's super drinkable. It's pretty light. I think the aftertaste is clean. It's pleasant. You got the roasted malts, and you got some chocolate. You got the vanilla. You got the sweetness from the lactose in there. For an imperial milk stout, which is, I mean, this is what this is. This is not a oaked imperial stout or whatever they're calling it. This is an imperial milk stout.
There's nothing oaked about it yet.
No. I would say this is actually a pretty good example of that. I think they mislabeled this beer and they're calling it the wrong thing, quite honestly.
Yeah, okay, it's growing on me. Like you say, when you accept the fact that this is not thick.
Yeah.
Then it's easier to focus on the actual flavors.
It's a little too sweet. I think the vanilla extract and the lactose is making it a little too sugary for me.
Yeah.
I like for it to be a little more dialed back, but I think it's pretty good. I'm going to give this a 3.75.
Me too. But I wanted it to be so much more.
I think that was the problem. I was expecting to be a much bolder beer, and then when I tried it, I was just like, because it smells so good. You get all of the chocolate and the vanilla, and like I said, a little licorice and roasted malts, and it's just like right there in the smell. And you taste it, and you're like, oh wait, this is really unrewarding.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, on the second drink, I was like, all right, now I know what to expect, and I'm kind of getting something more out of this. And I think that's where this beer is coming around. Yeah,
but it's been sitting in my fridge, not that long, but long enough for me to look at it several times and go, oh no, that one gets saved. Maybe for a podcast, maybe for a bottle share. Oh, it's going to be great. I really like Alpha Delta.
I do too. They've been doing really good stuff.
But maybe I've only had their double IPAs.
I think it's pretty much all I've had as well.
Exactly. And those have been given 4, 4.25, even 4.5. And I think that's why I was hyping up their Imperial Stout. Meh.
I mean, 3.75 is not a bad review. It's not bad.
Yeah. I just wanted to wow you.
I know. I wanted it to be wild too. I'm easily wooed, so I was expecting it to be like, whoa. But yeah, no, it's aight, as they would say.
Aight. Yeah, but put this next to a thick imperial stout, and it'll be so forgotten.
Yeah. I mean, this is very easy to drink. It doesn't come across as particularly boozy.
But strong imperial stouts don't need to be drinkable.
No,
they need to be sippable, and this isn't.
No, I mean, it's thin. It's thin for sure. That was where the milk stout comparison comes in.
Yeah.
And I think it's very easy to drink. But you're right in the fact that it's forgettable and not something that you would probably reach for again.
No. So a 375.
Yeah. Okay. You can find us online at what'sontappodcast.com, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Amazon, and wherever you can find fine quality podcasts. Until next time.
Keep drinking your dum-dums!
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.